Hi class, Beth Nelson here and doing a video response to our post 3.3a, and watched the movie God Grew Tired of Us and was very moved by the movie. I know it's really easy, especially for me, to not be aware of or just even see what it's like to be in the shoes of someone else from a different country and having to move to America. We actually in the Fargo-Moorhead community do have a lot of refugees. We have a lot of populations we actually have a few from Sudan. So there are some different, I guess, experiences that I've had through some of our nonprofits in town where we have served that community. But this really gave a window in for really the culture shift that has happened for them coming from their homeland to here. So I'll go ahead and start answering questions now, but that movie was really impactful. Has the church addressed immigration more as a political topic or as an area of human need? I guess the church globally in the U.S., in my opinion, has addressed it more as a political topic. Now, I think if you consider the local church, I think there are numerous local churches who address immigration on the local level that do it in regards to what we would maybe consider that meeting the spiritual need of their community. And so I think we even saw that in the video, and there was some talk of it in the blog post. More of a, I guess, inspiration from the blog post on how churches can make it less political and more of the human need. But what I noticed in the video was that I believe there was a church that gave rides to the refugees to help them get to a job for those first 3 months before they could actually get a visa or get to where they needed to go. And so I would assume that there's a lot of local churches that are connecting with nonprofits and with the agencies that are bringing those cultures here to America, to different cities. Now, again, I think it's a local thing and more of a city thing, how each city probably recognizes that. To what extent has the church's involvement been appropriate? That's a tough one for me to answer. I hate to say that some of it's out of the church's control, but there is, in my opinion, and maybe it is a political opinion, but in my opinion, there's not a lot under the church's control as far as what or how in terms of bringing cultures here to really help. Now, once they're here in the United States, I can see how the church's involvement could be more proactive. That also raises a lot of issues. I am in a church where we focus really strongly on 4 things. And so I would say if a local church, one of their main things is to reach out to that community and really help them in any way they can. I can see how our church, through our outreach ministry called Civilization, how we would use opportunities. We actually partner with a program called Charism, and that's the program that works with the refugee families that have come to our community. And so there are ways that we have definitely served that community. I guess in context to the blog, I don't know that I have a strong opinion, but there is part of me that says naturally, because of what it is, it's a very political argument or a political topic in terms of bringing immigrants over, how do they get visas, all of that. I don't think the church needs to get involved in the details of that, but I think it's really hard to separate the political topic with what the church then has the freedom and the empowerment to actually do. Question number 2, how might the North American church benefit from friendship and partnership with immigrants? I think one of the things that I noticed, and maybe it's this specific Sudan culture, but just the freedom and expression. And I loved how they came and they talked about Christmas, and they're like, why do you have trees? Like, aren't we just celebrating that Jesus was born? And I'm like, oh yeah, you make it really simple because you came from a much different context where you had to fear for your life, you had to walk for miles, and then you had this. Now, I wouldn't call it freedom because it really wasn't, but at the same time, wouldn't you say that coming to America, there's all these fast paced expectations, and where life there is just survival, and maybe that's very naive of me to say, but I also noticed that, you know what, coming to America might not be the best fit for everybody anyway, and sometimes I get frustrated with the way we function in America. So, I guess I don't know exactly how to say that, but I can see how obviously there would be a benefit in partnering with immigrants. And again, uh, to me, we've definitely had people of different cultures come into our church, and I just believe it's so important that we treat them the same. So I know I'm getting long-winded. We're at about 6 minutes, so I will go ahead and get off at this point, but appreciate the option to do a video. I really enjoy that. So thank you. Look forward to hearing from the rest of you.